There's a specific kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from doing too much, it comes from feeling too much. And if you know exactly what that means without needing it explained, this is probably going to be one of those videos you watch twice. Because what most people call being too sensitive or too emotional isn't a character flaw. It isn't weakness dressed up in psychological language. It's actually a specific, documented way that certain nervous systems are built. And the people who have it spend most of their lives being told to dial something down that they were never in control of turning up. Here's what's actually happening beneath the surface. 1. You don't just experience emotions, you live in them. For most people, an emotion arrives, delivers its message, and moves on. For you, it moves in. A conversation that went slightly wrong at 10 a.m. is still running in the background at midnight. A compliment lands somewhere deep and stays there in a way you'd never admit out loud. Someone's offhand comment, something they've already forgotten, rewrote your entire afternoon. This isn't rumination in the clinical sense, though it can become that. It's that your brain doesn't process emotional information and file it away. It processes it, then processes it again, then finds 3 more layers underneath that nobody else noticed were there. Psychologist Elaine Aron spent decades researching what she called the highly sensitive person. Her findings were consistent. Roughly 15 to 20% of the population has a nervous system that processes sensory and emotional input at a fundamentally deeper level than the majority. Not louder, deeper. The difference matters. 2. Other people's emotions don't just affect you, they enter you. You walk into a room and you already know something is off before anyone has said a word. You can feel the tension in a silence. You absorb the mood of whoever you're sitting next to the way fabric absorbs water, quietly, completely, without deciding to. This is why crowded places drain you in a way they don't drain everyone. It isn't the noise exactly, it's that you're processing every emotional current in that room simultaneously, most of it without realizing you're doing it. The clinical term is emotional contagion, but for people who feel deeply, it goes further than mirroring. It becomes difficult to locate where your emotional state ends and someone else's begins. You leave a conversation and carry the other person's anxiety home in your chest. You watch something painful on a screen and your body responds as if it happened to you. This is not weakness. It is a different kind of nervous system doing exactly what it was built to do. 3. Beauty hits you differently. This one doesn't get talked about enough. It isn't just pain that lands harder for people who feel deeply, it's everything. A piece of music at the right moment can do something to your chest that is almost unbearable in the best way. The last page of a book, the particular quality of light on a late afternoon in autumn, a stranger being unexpectedly kind to someone else. These moments reach you somewhere most people don't seem to have access to, or if they do, they move past it too quickly to feel it fully. You don't move past it. You stand in it, sometimes longer than is practical. That depth of response to beauty is directly connected to the same wiring that makes you feel pain so intensely. You cannot selectively turn down one without dimming the other. People sometimes try. It rarely ends well. 4. You feel the weight of what goes unsaid. In any conversation, there are 2 versions happening, the surface one and the one underneath. Most people track the surface. You track both, often involuntarily. You notice the pause before someone said they were fine, the way they laughed slightly too quickly, the thing that was almost said and then wasn't, and you carry the unspoken version of the conversation alongside the spoken one, which means every interaction quietly doubles in weight. This is part of why social situations leave you more tired than they should. You aren't just managing your own emotional experience, you're managing the emotional subtext of everyone in the room. 5. Conflict doesn't just upset you, it physically costs you. An argument, even a small one, even a resolved one, doesn't just disappear for you the way it seems to for other people. It echoes. Your body holds it long after your mind has agreed to move on.
The stress response that conflict triggers in your nervous system takes longer to return to baseline. This isn't drama, this is physiology. Research on high sensitivity consistently shows elevated activation in the insula, the part of the brain responsible for processing internal bodily states and empathy. When you say a fight made you feel sick, that is closer to literal than most people realize. 6. You love in a way that sometimes scares you. Not just romantic love, the way you feel about the people you let in, the loyalty that operates at a depth other people don't always understand or require in return. The way losing someone, or even the idea of losing someone, moves through you like something structural is being removed. People who feel deeply don't attach casually. When they let someone matter, that person matters completely, which makes every loss disproportionate in the eyes of the outside world, and proportionate in ways the outside world just can't measure. Here's what none of this means. It doesn't mean you are fragile. It doesn't mean you need to be fixed. It means you are living at a frequency that most people simply aren't tuned to. And that gap between what you feel and what the world around you seems to register is genuinely one of the lonelier things a person can carry. But you have been carrying it, quietly and mostly without acknowledgement. That changes when someone finally names it accurately. And maybe this was that.